This is what happens in most families. Unapata that when the father dies, the brother of the deceased person, the sisters, the mother-in-law, the father-in-law, wanakuja to that family na wanakuja wanafukuza the wife ama the children. Ama wanakuja especially if the family is so powerful, wanakuja wanachukua hizo mali za mwenda zake na wanaacha watoto wakihangaika na bibi yao na bibi akihangaika. Now, I'll be teaching you on today's episode. Nataka niwafunze about something that's so important as a father if you want to leave your family in a stable condition. Utaki watoto wako wateseke after umededi. You want your family to be okay. First of all, there's something called a will. I know you people know what a will is, but you don't know about the elements. What is this will? How can I write a will? For example, if I want to write a will today, what are the requirements? So basically, I'll be taking you through a simple process of writing a will. A will, first of all, there are two forms of wills. There's the written will and there's an oral will. A written will is a kind of will which has been written down by the person who wants to give his property to the beneficiaries. So the will can either be written or it can be oral. An oral will is a will which is given orally. Unaambia watu, I want this property to go to this person, I want this property to go to this person, and that's basically the two types of wills. So for a written will, it must be written by the testator himself, or he has given a direction to someone to write the will. So for the will to be valid, it must contain these elements. First of all, it must be attested by at least two competent witnesses. Lazima kukuwe na witness kwa when you are writing when you are writing and when you are signing that will. So it must be attested. It must be, lazima kukuwe na witnesses wawili ili hao ndio wata-attest na they put their signature on that will. Number 2, the testator must sign the will. You must sign the will as a person who wishes to dispose your property through a will. You must sign the will, and it must be in the presence of two competent witnesses. And now, if you want to do a written will, this is the elements. These are things that you have to write down. First of all, you have to state that this is the last will and testament of, for example, if it's Kenyajui written in the will, this is the last will of Kenyajui. And then number 2, you have to say that you are a person of sound mind. You are a person who knows what you are doing, and you are willing to write the will. And as follows. After that, you write the name of the properties. Then you can write the name of the list of all your properties. And then number 2, you'll have to write the list of all your beneficiaries, the name of your children. If you want to give your sister property, you write the list of the beneficiaries of all the people who are to benefit from your estate. Number 3, you'll write now how you bequeath the property to the beneficiary. You say one estate in Karen, I'll give it to one plot in Karen, I'll give it to Brian. One plot in Kilelesho, I'll give it to Agnes. That's how you dispose of your will. And then on the last part, there's that's where now you write your name and your signature. You sign, and then the witnesses who are seeing you signing, they will write their names and they will sign. They must be two competent. They must be competent. They must be people of sound mind. They must be people above the age of 18 years. Yeah? Yes. And then if you want to dispose the will, there are some people who don't know how to write, and there are some people who are sick in hospital and they want to give out a will orally. For an oral will, you must also give it before at least two competent witnesses, and you must die within 3 months. You feel me? Now, for an oral will, it's so peculiar that you must die within the period of 3 months. After 3 months have lapsed, then that will be invalid. So for you to be safe, make sure you put it in writing so that after 3 months it continues to be valid. And another thing for an oral will that I must mention, there there's an exception to an oral will. That there's a will called privileged wills. These are wills which have been made by people who are inactive for service. For example, for the people in when you wanna pick the KDF, the military, these people can give oral wills which can be valid even after the period of 3 months. You get me? For example, you are a KDF in Somalia and you want your property you want to give up to your property when you die, the property to go to your wife and children. You can tell a person that this is how I wish this is how I wish my property to be disposed after you die. Feel me? Now, today you have understood that there are two types of wills. You have a written will and an oral will. For an written will, it must be attested by at least 2 witnesses, and you must execute, you must sign it yourself as the person writing it. You must sign it, and then below your signature, the name of your witnesses and their signatures. And for an oral will, you give it orally to people. There must be at least 2 competent witnesses who must listen and say that they were there when you are giving out the oral will. And for an oral will, what makes it exception is that you must die within 3 months. After 3 months have lapsed, that will is no longer valid. So guys, that's how you ensure that you have protected your family. That's how you ensure that your children benefit from your estate, because most times unapata the extended family, once you die, they come after your property. Wanakuja wanafukuza bibi yako, wanakuja wanafukuza watoto wako, and the people who will suffer will be your children. And they will, for example, if they are teenagers and their people can't stand up for themselves, they will stay in the streets. Masikiza story so many times that kijana like mtoto wa a very wealthy person ako in the streets because the extended family walikuja wakachukua mali yao yote na wakafukuza mama yao na watoto. So you have to be really careful if you want to really protect your family. So guys, that's for today. You have learned how to write a will and ensure you have a will. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.